Hey, my name's Peter Benedicto. This is Living in Las Vegas, and today we're going to talk about the 5 pros and 5 cons of living here in fabulous Las Vegas. Without any more delays, let's get right on to it. Hey, if you're new here and you would like to know everything there is to know about living, working, eating, playing, sleeping here in Las Vegas, please subscribe and hit the bell notification so you will be amongst the first to know what's going on here in Las Vegas, keeping yourself up to date with the local market conditions and hopefully helping you with the decision to relocate to the area if that is something you are considering. Let's get to the pros. The number 1 pro of living here in Las Vegas has to be the Las Vegas Strip. Whenever anybody thinks about Las Vegas, the first thing that they think about is the Strip. It has some of the best dining options, from up there with the Michelin star restaurants to fast food restaurants and everything in between, whether that's buffets, steakhouses, Italian, French, whatever it is that you're looking for on any given night, any given budget, you'll definitely be able to find it. We also have some of the best entertainment from top artists who residency here regularly, all the way through to adult shows, children's shows, magic shows, Cirque du Soleil. Again, whatever you are looking for, you will absolutely find it here on the Strip. Absolutely makes a really good night out, whether it's a date night or a family night out, and you will never ever find a reason to be bored here in Las Vegas. Coupled with that, and part of entertainment as well, is the sports teams we now have here. We have the Las Vegas Raiders, whose stadium is just off the Strip. Amazing stadium. If ever you get a chance to go and check it out, strongly suggest you do. We also have the Vegas Knights, who are doing really well, hockey team. Again, go and check them out when you have free time. They are an amazing team to go and watch. And again, it's a really great buzzing atmosphere. Not a huge hockey fan myself, but it's easy to get caught up in that atmosphere, and before I knew it, I was a hockey fan. What can I say? Number 2 on my list would be no state income tax. Hey, we all work hard for our money, and we all want to keep our money. Why give more of that away when you don't have to? We are lucky here in Vegas that we don't have any state income tax. I know in some states that can be upwards of 10%, which can really add up over the course of a year, 2 years, 10 years. I would say that a lot of people would consider moving to Las Vegas to have those savings. I will do a separate video on the cost of living, and you can break down exactly how much that will save you. But from a rough overview, if you're keeping 10% of your paycheck, then you can go and explore a lot more of what the Las Vegas Valley has to offer, or keep that in your pocket for a rainy day. Number 3 on the list of pros is the weather. I think in Vegas, we're lucky that our weather system is quite settled. If you can survive those 3 hot months in the summer, the rest of the year will be no problem at all. I think we're very fortunate we don't have any earthquakes to worry about, or any blizzards, tornadoes, any monsoons that are going to flood. We're quite settled here. Obviously, the weather can be too hot for some people, and I will touch on that in the cons as well, but I think overall, living in a place that has a settled weather system, I'm always watching the news, and there's always a different part of the states that has another state of emergency because of a crazy weather system. So I think it's very fortunate that we don't have to worry about those things, and in turn the effect it can have on our property as well. So for me, that is definitely one of the positive things about living here in Las Vegas. Number 4 on my list would be it's very easy to get around. We're lucky that the freeway sort of circles the whole city, so if you need to go from the south to the north, it's not going to really cost you too much time. I think on average it's around 30 to 40 minutes. I live in Henderson, which is quite down the south. If I need to go to North Las Vegas, roughly that takes me about 30-40 minutes, traffic depending. I know in some cities you can spend quite a lot of time stuck in traffic and not really getting anywhere. I certainly know London was like that when I lived in London. So I think being able to get from one side of the city to the other, roughly around 30 minutes, I think that is definitely a big positive. On to the final point, number 5. For me, one of the most important things is there's a great mix of people here in Las Vegas. There's not so many people that you speak to that are originally from Vegas. A lot of people come from other states or other parts of the world, and with that they bring different experiences. And it's great to just talk to people from different areas and get to know them and get to learn from them. And you never feel alone in this city. You always have someone that you can talk to. You can always connect with someone who has a similar background to you, or you can always learn from someone who doesn't have a similar background to you. And I think that's a real positive. I think it's great to be surrounded by so many different people from so many different walks of life. And I think for me, that is one of my favorite positives. So on to the 5 cons. For me, one of the big cons and challenges of moving here to Las Vegas has been the school district. In a recent survey, the Clark County School District got rated 49 out of 50, and obviously that would send alarm bells ringing. I will caveat that though by saying that there are some really good schools here. You have to do your research, and I will put some links down below that will help you make those decisions. Please do check them out. Please do as much research as you need. I'm a parent, I'm a father. I know one of the biggest challenges is making sure my kids were in a really good school. So I know for you that would be a similar concern if you're coming with a young family. So please do check out the links. If you want to talk it through with someone or hear how I made my decision, please do reach out to me, and I would love to have a conversation with you about it. But I would say the first point would be to check out those links. Number 2 on my list is the crime rates. Now, any big city is going to suffer from crime rates, and Las Vegas is no different. We are a big city, we have a huge population. What I would say is though, on the outside, when you look at the stats, they can look quite high, but they are coupled to just certain parts or certain pockets of the Las Vegas Valley. I will put the links again below, and you will see that there are a lot of places here that are really safe and you don't need to worry about. But again, like the school district, I would say just do your research, make sure you're informed, and keep on top of those sort of things, because if safety is a concern for you, there are certain parts of Las Vegas that I would say you probably need to look away from or stay away from. Number 3 on my list of cons would be the weather. Now, I know I mentioned this as being a positive, but for some people, being so hot can be a challenge. I know when I first moved over here in my first summer, having temperatures of 110 plus in the summertime was a real challenge. Nighttime and trying to sleep, and it's still above 100, again, was really challenging. I actually ended up with kidney stones in my first summer because I wasn't used to staying hydrated. I wasn't used to the hot temperatures, and although I have now adjusted to it, I still find the summers are still really hot, and I have to make sure I'm putting on enough sun cream and making sure that I'm protected. I would say if you're coming from a cooler weather system, be sure to make sure you're prepared. I know when you come to Las Vegas for a week, it's like nice and it's hot and blue skies. If you're gonna live here, just have a think about that and make sure that you are fully prepared and you are fully aware of what it's gonna be. Again, it's only gonna be for those 3 months, and outside of that, weather is really, really nice here, and certainly a lot better from where I am at home in the UK. Certainly a lot nicer. Number 4 on my list is public transport. Now, I mentioned how easy it is to get around Las Vegas. That is if you have your own means of transport. If you're relying on public transport, and if you're coming from somewhere that has really good public transport systems, like an amazing subway system or great trams that are so easy to get around on, you might be disappointed in Vegas. Our bus system is there, but I think that we can do a lot to improve it. Buses don't always arrive on time, and if you need to get to different parts of the city, you could be adding an hour extra to your travel time, especially if you need to change buses and those times don't intertwine. You could be seriously late. So please consider that again when you are thinking about moving here. But if you have your own means of transport, it is so easy to get around, so you will never need to worry about public transport. And then the final point on my list of cons is there's a lack of greenery. Now, we are in a desert, and we would expect that living in a desert. If you're coming from somewhere that has a lot of greenery, a lot of lovely grasses and beautiful trees, amazing blossoms on your flowers, you're gonna struggle here if that's what you're expecting. The flip side of that is there's some amazing mountain views. I love looking at the mountains. I find looking at the mountains really relaxing. So there are still some great scenery, but it won't be as green as you might have been hoping. There are parts of the Las Vegas Valley that are greener than the others. Henderson, Green Valley, and Summerlin have great pockets of greenery, but overall, the Las Vegas Valley is a desert, and so therefore the desert is the landscape, unfortunately. Thank you for watching. If you agree with my suggestions, then please give me a like. If you don't agree, or if you have some suggestions of your own that maybe I missed out, pop them in the comments below. If you or anyone you know are thinking about moving to Las Vegas, please reach out, give me a call, send me a text message, send me an email. You can click on the link and schedule a free Zoom consultation, and I can get to learn a bit more about you, and we can make sure that you make a smooth move to the Las Vegas Valley in the best time possible for you, whether that's 9 days, 90 days, or a year plus. I would love to work with you. You guys take care. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications when I post a new video. Until the next one, bye for now. Subscribe and hit the bell notifications so you can be against the because I can see you.
That'd be nice. You can use that as one of your blooper reels at the end.